Hello everyone, Stacy from Dies to Die For. Today we are not doing a Halloween card because I wanted to do a special card. Many of you, I'm sure, know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is also Pregnancy and Infant Loss Month. But one subject that I think doesn't get enough attention is domestic violence. It's also Domestic Violence or Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. So we are going to make a card for that today. The ribbon color for domestic abuse awareness is purple. So our card's going to be made all in white and purple. And we are going to talk about this as I'm going. Now, I do have to say, this is actually my second time making this video. This is a subject that's hitting very close to home right now. And I made the video with the same card the other day, and I posted it for all of 5 minutes. And then I got worried and scared of retaliation, not only for me, but for my kids, so I pulled it down immediately. And then I remembered a story from a very sweet friend of mine that I will not name names, but her daughter was murdered. So I feel the need to do this video again for her daughter. She knows who she is, and she's an absolutely amazing woman. She's just, I won't say her name because it's her story and she's not ready to talk about her story yet. But when she is, I have assured her I will help her shout it from the rooftops. Okay, what we're going to do first is I took the loose stitch rectangles. I haven't shown you the dies. Let's show you the dies before I start talking about all of this. Okay, we used the loose stitch rectangles, then Gina Marie slimline stitch rectangles. Our butterfly set, which works with our Survivor ribbon set. This butterfly layers right on top of there nicely. And then I'm going to use that ribbon in the center of it. There's also a body on there you could use, so you don't have to use this butterfly as a Survivor butterfly, but that's what I always seem to be using it for. And then our stitched accent ribbons. Our sorry you're sick or hurt word, we're just going to use the hurt. Our Tank's Tiny Alphabet. And then our love word from our Valentine's word set, I think it's called, or maybe it's called love word set. Anyway, that's what that's from. Okay, I cut out everything in white. The larger rectangle, I inked with the Simon Hurley Distress Oxide Concord Grape. And then I did, oh, I put glue on that way too soon. I distressed the edges around the edge of them, the rectangles, because I know I use this technique a lot, but I thought it had special meaning on this card because it makes me think of, you know, being tattered and kind of worn down, and which in a lot of domestic abuse cases women are, even some men. But just because you're all tattered and you feel like you're broken, maybe, doesn't mean you can't make something beautiful out of yourself. If you're in a domestic violence situation, there is help out there. You can get out. You are strong enough. If you've already gotten out, I applaud you. Okay, I'm going to layer the rectangles on top of each other. Then I took our stitched accent ribbon and I cut should not out with the Tank's Tiny Alphabet, inked the words in the purple, and I already attached them so you didn't have to watch me glue all those little tiny letters. We're going to put our words down first, and it's going to say love should not hurt, which is so accurate. I know domestic abusers tend to hurt people and then apologize and say, but I love you, but no, that's not love. Love is doing anything that you can to protect the person that you love, not causing them any pain yourself. The way that I feel is, if I love somebody, I would rather hurt myself or put myself in harm's way than ever hurt them. I know it's so easy to fall for all the apologies and I didn't mean to, but that is not what love is supposed to be. Okay, love should not hurt. Now we're going to take our butterfly. I've already layered them. I layered the survivor butterfly on top of our basic butterfly. I inked around the edges in purple, just of the top layer, and then I inked the ribbon in purple. We're going to glue that down, and I left the wings free so they could pop up. This is going to go right up here in this corner, overhang just a little bit. And right at this point in time, I really can't talk a whole lot about my story. When the time comes, I will. But right now, I can't, so I'm going to... Actually, I want the wings on these butterflies on the outside to pop up, and the inside wing I want to lay down. Anyway, we're gonna, since I am not ready to share my story either, or I really can't right now. And why is it? Like, we need to stop the stigma around domestic abuse, because my friend should not be scared to tell her daughter's story. I should not make a video and then get scared of retaliation and have to pull it down. We need to stop I believe, the victim shaming, the blaming, the why did you stay, the why were you ever with him. Let me answer that quickly, because most abusers do not show their true colors until you're so far into the relationship that you're not even recognizing what's going on. And it's so easy for somebody to say, who hasn't been in that situation, oh, I would get out the second. It's easy for you to say. And it doesn't matter when you would have gotten out. If you would have walked away the first second, it matters that you do get away. It doesn't matter how soon, or the perception of how slow. Another good one is downplaying the way that that person feels once they get out of the situation, the way they feel about the person who shattered their security. Somebody who's been in that situation doesn't need to hear, oh, he's not going to do anything. Oh, you shouldn't be scared. That's not the way it works, because you did not live their life. You did not see the things that go on behind closed doors. And I can assure you, more things go on behind closed doors than you'll ever see. in person when somebody's being abused. It's never okay to downplay that fear. If somebody is scared of somebody else, it is for a reason. And even, let's say, even if it wasn't for a reason, if it scares them and matters to them, then their feelings deserve to be validated. It doesn't make anyone stronger by saying, oh, you shouldn't be scared. Oh, why are you scared? That doesn't help anybody. Put a jewelry in the center of this. Don't know if I'm really explaining what's going on with the card. I layered the butterflies going down. I might add another butterfly right here, I think. And it's not just, I don't know, it's not, I don't know how to say this without, it's just understanding abuse, understanding why people can't leave, why they're scared. In a lot of cases, and it's obvious I've been in domestic violence situations in my life. And I've been too scared to leave. And I felt like it was a whole lot less scary for me to stay. Because then I could gauge the mood that that person was in, and I could protect myself and my kids better. But at some point, it eats up so much of who you are that you can't stay anymore. That sense of, I don't know if it's really safety, but being able to protect yourself better, at some point you have to realize that no matter, that the longer you stay, the more you are at risk. Can't remember what the statistics are, but I believe it's 7 times it takes the average person in an abusive relationship, an average of 7 times trying to leave, to actually leave. And I can't speak about anybody else's situation because there's multiple reasons why people choose to stay. But I do know one situation that I was in. I had called the police and I was a little bit hurt. And the officer that showed up actually told me, I don't really care how much he hurt you. It's the fact that the kids are here. That's why I have to arrest him. That kind of attitude needs to stop. That is not okay. But it's that lack of understanding and that lack of support that women and men, like I said, it's not just women who are abused, but that lack of support that people get from all around. It's not just the police. And don't get me wrong, I have had some amazing police officers who have stood by my side. But it's that 1% that doesn't get it, doesn't understand that makes you feel like you're wrong to be scared, that the idea that you're telling this authority figure and they're acting like it's no big deal. That's what makes people feel like there's nobody there to back them up. Like, even if you leave, there's no consequences. That's why I decided that out of all the things that this month stands for, that doing a card for domestic violence is probably one of the most important, because it's one of the most misunderstood. It's easy to look at somebody's situation and say, oh, if they wanted out, they could leave. You can't always. You just can't. There's always a fear of the unknown, a fear of where you're at, even as bad as it may be. It's familiar, and it's some kind of security. Leaving that is absolutely terrifying. The unknown is terrifying. I'm just cascading the butterflies down, going from the larger size to the smaller. So again, as I've said, if you're in a domestic violence situation, I know that you probably hold out hope that it's going to get better, but it won't. And I feel like even if somebody only ever laid their hands on you one time, that doesn't matter. That's enough to shatter your sense of security. That's enough to make you feel like you're never safe. And I know that you're supposed to believe that people changing is a possibility, that them not doing it again, but and maybe some people who put their hands on somebody don't ever do it again. But I guarantee you, if they did it once and they're not doing it again, they're abusing you in other ways. There's not just physical violence that is abuse. There's a lot of mental and emotional abuse. And all of those things count. Nobody deserves to be in a situation where they feel trapped and are made to feel useless, are made to feel not good enough.